Welcome to Local Edition. I'm Tracy Young. Approximately 8% of the U.S. population, or 25 million Americans, have served in the armed services. And joining us to talk about legislation that Congress is reviewing to provide enhanced benefits for both health care and education is Congressman Dreier, who represents the 26th District.
Great to be with you, Tracy, and let me just first express my appreciation to the voters. We've just gone through an election, and frankly, all of those great veterans have created an opportunity for us to continue to have free and fair elections in our wonderful democracy.
Yeah, so as you look around the world, it's really actually quite a gift, is it not?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I look at the veterans who served in wars previously and those who are currently serving, and I don't mind saying I have incredible respect and admiration for these individuals. Why are they important to America?
You know, Tracy, Tom Brokaw wrote about the greatest generation, those World War II veterans who struggled against Nazism and then came back and rebuilt this country in an amazing way. The wonderful thing is we have a new greatest generation. The men and women who have stepped forward and volunteered in this battle against radical extremism. And unlike World War II,
they're a unique breed of individuals, are they not?
But Tracy, think about what they face. Enemies who know no borders, wear no uniforms, and have no regard for the innocent.
And no particular allegiance to a country for which that we can go
something
against.
We've never seen before. And that's why, to answer the question that you asked me before we went on the air, when it comes to our nation's veterans, we have to do absolutely everything for them. And I was horrified, just as you were, when we recently got the report of the dramatic increase in the number of suicides that has taken place.
Last year they're saying that a veteran is 2 times as likely to commit suicide than a non-veteran, and last year 117 people took their lives.
And so I will tell you what we've done in the Congress. Again, we came together in a bipartisan way, and we've just put aside $480 million that is for 2 things. The brain injuries, we've seen an increase in those, and also the stress syndrome, traumatic stress syndrome. We need to do what we can because there are so many of these great veterans who have suffered. But education is also equally important. And we had this GI Bill following World War II. My father went to school right here in Claremont on the GI Bill.
Well, many people built their homes on that. They started their businesses on that. They gained an education.
That's exactly right. It hasn't been updated for 20 years. It's now called the Montgomery GI Bill, and we need to update that to make sure that there are resources so that the men and women who've served in our armed forces are able to get a 4-year college education. We also need to make sure that those GI benefits that they have can be passed on to their loved ones.
Why is that important?
It's important because they deserve those, and it's part of their family, and so they should get what it is that is due them when other veterans are getting it as well. And we also need to provide relief from student loans as well. That also needs to be part of it. And I've co-sponsored legislation, again, Democrats and Republicans working together on that.
Is this a Republican or a Democratic issue?
It's not. I will tell you, when it comes to supporting our veterans, we work together, Democrats and Republicans alike, and there's often a struggle, and some say more can be done, others. We need to do what's right, but we need to make sure that when it comes to getting into a VA hospital,
do you feel like we've done what we need to do? We recently saw a father who was there with a veteran, and he took his cell phone and he took pictures, and he said, these are the deplorable conditions that my son is putting his life on the line for and coming back to. How acceptable
is that? It's horrible.
Well,
you know, you remember a couple of years ago at the Walter Reed Army Hospital, the deteriorating circumstances there. Well, I've been there and visited that.
Mildew,
it was horrible.
And
I've been there. I've been there and seen it. And we need to make sure that whenever there are situations like that, it comes to the forefront so that we can rectify it, because every American is horrified at the prospect of doing anything less.
Why wasn't it done before, do you think? Who's held accountable
Well,
for
you know
that?
what? I mean, heads rolled, and, you know, it's frankly part of the bureaucracy, I would say, but there is a strong commitment on the part of the American people to support those of us in the Congress who are working to ensure that our veterans have all that they deserve.
How much do you think a veteran has to contribute? I think of somebody who's gotten up every day and they've served in very treacherous situations. They know how to do teamwork. They know how to work together. They know how to plan and execute. Might we just need to give them an education and imagine how they can work into our economy and our society?
That's why, Tracy, we need to make sure that they have the resources through this GI Bill for a 4-year education so that they can take their expertise and use it for the benefit of our overall society as well. We're lucky to have so many courageous young men and women who've stepped forward.